225.
Hello, hashtag Verse TV family, and welcome. It's week 225. I'm Aaron Mack, here with my good friend Kevin, aka CVC Basic Complexity, who will change his aspect ratio as soon as he can. And yep. And again, it's week 225, and I'm Aaron Mack. And this week, I get the pleasure to start off with the question, the number share program. So I will take my time with it and do it right because we have the time to take our time. So I'm really like drumming this up. Drum roll, please. So first roll, two rolls. Let's see. The question is, and we'll see if I'll answer it or not. What is your favorite travel getaway? I don't know. I think I will skip. I know we're just in such a habit of skipping things. And 1, 2. What's something that instantly makes someone less attractive? Huh. This is a really tough one for me, but I do have an answer. At least for me, if you, I don't want to say think too much of yourself because we've even talked about this on hashtag Verse TV before. You should, of course, have self-love and love and value yourself. But, and I feel horribly saying if you have too much of that, but I'll say this, I am substantially less attracted to somebody who's like, I know you think I'm attractive, so what's up? You know, that's not attractive to me. And I know it's like, I shouldn't hate, but it just is what it is. Now, I will beg our co-host and friend Basic Complexity to get the camera on for his new song of the week. And that's okay. Yeah, we'll keep it vertical. That's fine. If that's up. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. The song is by the song is called, if I'm not mistaken, it's called I Like, and that is by Justin Michael, and he's probably best known from his, well, I guess, former group, B5. So yeah, he was one of the singers in that group. What?
Cool. Don't ask me what. Don't. That's horrible. No. And I will say, since you did ask, so it won't seem like I was totally uncouth, but when I reveal why I chuckled, that it will make me seem uncouth. But when you were like, and I am not exceptional at singing, right? I get it. So I'm not hating on anybody. And they actually could sing, all right? It was just funny to me to think, like, say on a TV show, if somebody was like, when you're like one of the singers in B5, if they were like, oh, they had singers. Anyway, oh my gosh, that is horrible. That is horrible, Kevin. Don't you get people hating me already? Golly.
Now that does sound like if someone said that, it would sound like hate.
Right, but I'm not saying it out of hate.
Right.
I love B5. I too am a millennial. You were telling me before the show, we were talking about how this dude is an 87 baby. He's a fellow 80s baby. So, you know, nothing but love. Nothing but love. You know, it's just, and I loved, what was their song? That remake of All I Do Is Think of You. I love that song. I'm a millennial, so of course I did. I loved their remake of it. Are you ready for my old-ish song?
Let's go for it.
My oldish-ish is coming from, it's a newer of the older songs in that it is 2009. Alicia Keys, Try Sleeping with a Broken Heart. And from her album, The Element of Freedom. And that really takes me back because that was the days of my first apartment. And I was in Laurel and I loved it. And I just loved everything about all of that. Now, another thing that I did talk. Okay. Another thing that I did mention was the fact that 2009 takes me back to the time that was like literally a year before the year that I was diagnosed with MS. And as I was thinking about that song and myself at that time, I was like, wow, you know, you just did not, it's amazing what a difference X amount of time can make, you know? And for myself, anyway, it's amazing what a difference an amount of time can make. I am working on getting back. I'm getting back, y'all. I'm getting back. I'm healing. Shoot. Anyway, also, I will say, as far as that song, it is kind of a breakup song, and I would take inspiration from that song and stuff like it to be like, damn it, you're going to make me sleep with a broken heart. I'm going to leave you. And that's just where things were, because being younger, and Alicia Keys was younger too. Alicia Keys, if I recall, is a fellow 80s baby. You know, so we were all in our 20s at that time. And that was at the time that people are like throwing partners away. But to Alicia Keys' credit, now she's married. So eat that. Married to Swiss Beats. Yes. You know, now she's living that life. All right for marriage. Yes. I don't want to be too far behind either. So anyway, but yes. All right for marriage. And yeah, I had a conversation with a special connection of mine about sad songs and how sad songs can really bring you, like, playing a lot of sad songs can really put you in that mood. And I was like, what I try to do nowadays is, because sometimes the sad songs are just excellent, so you just have to hear it a little bit, but I won't allow myself to repeat it more than 5 times. And I know even saying 5 times to some people, that's a lot. But yeah, sometimes I would repeat songs way more than that. So now I do no more than 5, and then I switched back to happy songs. But that's a beautiful song. That's a beautiful song. Anyway, wow, everybody sent something. Goodness. Goodness gracious. So the show titles for this week, I keep looking into the microphone. The show titles for this week are hashtag wanna go. Hashtag see Kevin, I'm gonna change this background that we have, because for older gentlemen such as myself, being 40, sometimes it makes things difficult to read. But regimen inception and hashtag it's complicated and hashtag social experiment. Basic complexity. Are you ready to get this show on the road, my friend?
Yeah.
Hashtag wanna go at a star for real. Hashtag VersTV225A.
If you weren't invited, don't go. If none of your friends told you, don't ask. If you got a late invite, respectfully decline. Yeah, they had no intention of including you in the original plan.
Comment. This is a kind of trauma response. Don't listen to this kind of messaging. You're only going to isolate yourself more if you keep pushing people away. Sometimes the other person really did forget, and how you feel about the situation is all up to you. It's different if you showed up and they made hints about not expecting you in a negative way, but planning events gives a lot of people anxiety, and if people who are invited act this way, then it will only add to it. Just lead with love and positive energy. If you can't make it, don't go. And support, whether it's last minute or not. Nobody got time to be playing stupid games. She's suggesting, like how I said, how you feel. It's all up to you. This comment by Monalistic. If none of my, quote, friends, end quote, told me, that's a sign they are not true friends. Time to get new ones. Bottom line, know your worth. And do not allow anyone to treat you like they do not value you. This comment by Sarah G. Muay Thai.
Okay. Then with that topic and excuse me, I just had not memorized this stuff. In my mind, I fully agree with everything she said. In situations like that where you are intentionally, keyword intentionally, not invited, then it becomes a point in time where you have to really reevaluate who your actual friends are. Because sometimes you gotta cut people off, send them on their way. That's what I've.
All right. And my initial reaction is absolutely, absolutely. And I was like, absolutely. And I will adopt her philosophy effective immediately. That is exactly how I need to handle things. And then I was like, yeah, my formerly thirsty, desperate days would definitely benefit that. But in going into the comments, like I read in the video, I was like, well, maybe those comments are also right. And interestingly enough, and dare I say ironically, I actually got a last minute invite this weekend from family talking about an event. And it's like, And I did go to the event. I had to sort of flip some things around, but I did make it. And it's like, that had me realize, in agreement with the comments, that it's not always, I'm not inviting you right up front because I just didn't think of you. You just don't matter to me. But it's that sometimes it is that. Sometimes it's exactly that. But like the people were saying, when it comes to scheduling things, sometimes it's just you have a lot of things up in the air you don't remember. And like with the family outing this weekend, sometimes ideas occur spur of the moment, like, hey, let's go to whatever, and it's like, hey, let's invite Aaron and see if he can go too, since he's up here. Yay, living in the same state with family, and I specify that because, I don't, a lot of, anyway, this is a somewhat new experience for me to an extent. And it's like, it's rare for my family to make like last minute things and be like, let's just suddenly do this thing for just because. Like, no, but sometimes things work out like that. And that's true with people just in general. Sometimes things work out like that. And things can happen last minute. Now, if the habit is to invite you out at the last minute, always, stuff like that can be problematic. But it comes down to, are you free? Do you want to? When it comes to situations like people who they're kind of deliberately putting you at the bottom of the barrel. Anyway, base complexity, you're 1 squared.
Yes, and yeah, and think about it. In situations like that, and this is just speaking for myself personally. I mean, years ago, I intentionally had to update or clear out some alleged friends. And yeah, some people who claim to be a friend really aren't. Some are, but some aren't. So it's like those little red flags you notice. Yeah, keep track of that. That's what I've.
Yeah, and again, if it is habitual, as far as you're referencing red flags, if it's something that they do like regularly, yeah, and like I say, that's in situations like that, it's like, do I really want to go to this event? Because maybe they're going to a really cool place that you've wanted to go for a while, and it's not really so much about interacting with them as it is just enjoying that really cool place. And you would have done it by yourself, but now, hey, you have an opportunity to do it with people. So whatever, stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe you can make that a thing, maybe, but only if you wish to do so. In those cases, if it's again habitual, but sometimes if it's a rare occurrence and it's from people who love you, care about you the way you love them, care about them, go ahead to the event. Yes, you should. Yes. In those cases, I would say so. Now, my one sentence is, I wanted to say culmination. I don't think that's the right word. It just feels like a fun big word. Anyway, but sometimes you are the +1 or the +8 and unimportant. And sometimes things just come together late without any hierarchical ranking of people. Sometimes things just come up late. And I think it comes down to knowing the heart of the people inviting you. And if you are comfortably available, comfortably so. And since you did your one square, here's a hashtag. I'll go right into the Verse TV family question that I sometimes forget. Sometimes I forget, but I want to always remember it. Anyway, hashtag Verse TV family yes or no question. Have you ever had a last minute idea for a spontaneous group adventure or activity? Basic complexity. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Hashtag regimen inception at Whoa Saucer. Hashtag Verse TV 225B. Text. The rich stay getting us to keep them richer and us poorer.
Before the 1930s, nobody exchanged diamond rings when they got engaged. It wasn't a thing.
Apple, what do you say we get married?
Oh, that's a swell idea, Frank. What do you give me?
Well, I got the shiny red apple.
Sold. Oh, I love you, Frank.
But in 1938, the De Beers Diamond Cartel launched a massive ad campaign, claiming that the only way for a real man to show his love is with an expensive hunk of crystallized carbon. And we bought that shit.
Now, hold on. Looks like if I don't buy you one of these ring dealies, then I'm a tiny pecked pencil neck.
Well, it's on the side of a building, so it's gotta be true.
Well, crumbs.
In fact, every element of the traditional American engagement was designed to make more money for De Beers. How much you drop on that rock?
I don't know, like $4,000.
Jesus Louises, that's more than your car.
My dad said the rule was 2 months' salary.
Yeah, sorry, dude. That's not a rule. That's just an arbitrary number from an old De Beers ad campaign.
Buy her a diamond worth 1 month's salary. She'll be sure to love you eternally.
Profits are down. Better make it 2 months.
It seems that cut off, but basically it was saying profits are down. Go ahead and make it 2 months. I don't know if that was heard. Anyway, so my initial reaction to this whole situation was they are a greedy capitalist company. De Beers, darn it. And I also thought about a show that I've enjoyed in my past, the Walton and Johnson radio show. And it's like, yes, because on that show, they talk about how people, they call people sheeple. because it's amazing how an ad campaign, a well done ad campaign, could convince people to think that, oh, this is something that I need to do to show true love. And this also goes to another person I enjoy, George Carlin, talking about people need to learn how to think critically, think for themselves. But sheeple are easy to control without critical thinking. And maybe there were good intentions that extend beyond money. I don't know. I do know that doing pre-show research, I see that other countries, it's not that exchanging stuff in marriage is just unheard of until De Beers came along. No, it's just that this specific exchange of having the ring is what they brought to the scene, at least here. But people in other countries would exchange things as well as tradition. And I would think about myself when I was a kid. I don't have a ring on my finger yet. I'm sorry. But I would always be like, I don't want to exchange rings with my wife. And that's because that's what I thought that's what I thought as a kid. I thought it was going to be wife, but it's going to be husband. Yes. Speaking it. Anyway, I'm slamming stuff arbitrarily, but yes. Anyway, but yeah, I was like, I wouldn't want to exchange rings. I would prefer to exchange watches, you know? And at that time, there were no smartwatches, but I like watch technology. And yeah, you know, see, I've wasted all my time with that. I'll just go over a little bit in my 1 minute. I'm kidding, maybe, but basic complexity.
All right. With that entire video, I thought was rather interesting because to me, and well, I guess I realized this a few years ago. Like weddings or in general engagement, whatever. I think it's like an engagement ring. I think is kind of pointless if you're gonna turn around and buy a separate wedding ring. That to me just seems like a waste of money if you don't have it. And for the record, typically I don't have it. So yeah, it really seems kind of pointless unless you were to get a cheaper engagement ring. And not that I'm engaged or anything, but like this $20. That I could deal with, but nothing crazy expensive. I'll do crazy expensive for the wedding ring. And yeah, that's about it. I really don't have much of a care for engagement rings. To me, it seems kind of pointless. I'm not rich. I cannot throw away money like that. That's what
Well, some people just like to do it way big. Anyway.
Yes.
I will say at this point in this space, the ring is it. That's the thing. De Beers got it. You know, in the world as far as people's expectations. And it's Todrick Hall has a song, legs, hair, nails, hips, something. And in the song, he has a line thought about, because I win, bitch. And it's like, De Beers is like, because I win, bitch. And it's like, yeah, you know, they're winning because everybody just accepted that at this point, accepted that, hey, the ring is how we do it in America. You know, we're all going to exchange rings. That's it. That's what we do. Yes. And it's like, okay, cool. And people will spend that huge amount of money on the ring. Like the guy was talking about 2 months' salary on a ring and end up in all this debt as they start their relationship. Mm-hmm. And those are the kind of things that cause what's the word? Fissures in relationships in the early days, you know? Mm-hmm. So you're going into a relationship, you have this super expensive ring that he probably has to pay off. You know, you might have worked it out that you both pay for your own rings, you know, whatever. But you're starting off with that, and chances are, if you're the person to buy a ring that's too expensive for you, because if you have it like that, you have it like that. But if you're the type of people who buy a ring that's too expensive for you, you're probably also the type of people to have a wedding that's too expensive for you. So you're starting off your relationship with these mounds of bills that you are going to have trouble paying. And you're going to look at your partner and you will look at each other and be like, we are in this predicament because of you. You'll say that to each other. Anyway, Kevin, you're 1 squared.
And yeah, definitely should have looked this up earlier. But
wait a minute. Well, it's good that you have that, because my one statement, because the statement comes after the 1 minute. My one statement is, by hook or by crook, the ring is currently has its place in our society as that symbol, that bitch. Anyway, other jewelry elsewhere, though. And when I say that bitch, I'm not talking about a woman. I'm talking about the ring is that. The ring is that B. You know, the ring is what it is. At this point, ring is the king, that bitch. Anyway, oh my God. I just had to make sure that we understand that I have not gendered the term B. I'm a gay man. I just say, anyway, basic complexity. You're 1 square. And then I'll do the fam question.
Sorry?
No, I was saying, per norm, after you're 1 squared, I'll do the family question.
Oh, okay. This entire situation is why I personally decided years ago that I'm completely fine with a cheap courthouse wedding. I don't want to spend the next 20 or 20 plus years in debt over an event that was only a few hours. So, yeah, it just seems like a waste of money to me. And what it comes down to, like with weddings, it's not even about you and your significant other. Like when you really, really think about it, it's basically putting on a show for the guests. And I don't see why you have to break a on the leg trying to appease them. They're not helping you pay for it. So that's what I.
Yet again, I'm going to fall on your grace and request a little extra second to say something based on what you just said. Talking about spending money to impress others. It's also like, and I just made this connection as you were saying it. We choose who we date often to impress others.
Yes.
We choose who we won't accept because we want to impress others. And I think about, and I know that he doesn't watch #VersTV, probably not, but the dude, a dude that I dated or at least talked to in my early 20s, my mid to late 20s. And in some of his Facebook photos, he took photos in what people call Daisy Dukes, from Dukes of Hazzard. Did you know that's where that term came from? Dukes of Hazzard? Yes. I didn't realize that Daisy Duke was actually a character in the Dukes of Hazzard, hence the name Daisy Dukes. Duke. And it's like interesting, but whatever. But yeah, he would sometimes in his Facebook photos wear Daisy Dukes. And I was like, I can't. And I will add this to sort of make this point. I was attracted to his legs. I loved seeing that. But I was like, but I don't think I can take somebody to church if he dresses like that. And chances are, for a church event, I'm sure he wouldn't dress like that. But that's what I allowed as my reasoning to be like, I shouldn't be with him. Because it was about impressing other people. Just like the wedding, just like the ring, But are the other people who you're trying to impress going to be there for you? When you have to pay the bills, when you're lonely at night by yourself because you don't have a partner, because you dumped or didn't deal with your partner who wouldn't impress others. And he was really nice to me. Anyway, all right, Kevin, I'm sorry. Thank you. The #VersTV family yes or no question. For you and your one, is the circle of the ring still valued for confirmation of lifelong commitment? Yes or no? All right, Bits Complexity, are you ready for C?
Yep.
And I will be first again.
#It's complicated at Zach Noe Towers, #VerseTV225C. Question: what's a perspective that you have or have had that conflicts with your open-mindedness?
I am gay, and when it comes to being gay, I'm like, you don't have to be it to accept it. Just get it. And then when it comes to polyamory, I'm like the Westboro Baptist Church. Where obviously, like, to people's faces, I'm like, oh, you opened it up. That's so brave. That's so brave. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, not in my town, home. You keep your poly eyes off my wifey's thighs.
I know that's right, sister. Yes. Keep your poly eyes off my wifey's thighs. Yes. Anyway. All right. Yes. So my initial reaction to this is I remembered, as far as the question that I asked pre-video, I remembered that myself and gay marriage, I was like, my actual perspective was gay people should have a right to get married. I don't think it's for me because it didn't settle well with me and my beliefs at that time. But I did believe that gay people should have the right to get married, especially when I heard that awful, awful Florida story of the lesbian couple, civil unionized couple that went down to Florida with their son, and one of the women in the relationship, in the couple, had a bad brain injury, like hit her head in the sea or something, surfing, I don't know. But she ended up in intensive care. And the Florida hospital that they went to was like, son and other woman, we won't let you in to see your partner, see this woman, because you're not married. So since you're not married, and people talk about civil union, it's not the same. Since you're not married, you can't go in and see her. And they're like, please, we have a child together. Let me in, let me in. And they were like, no. And she died in intensive care by herself. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I was like, I do believe that gay people should get married. I just didn't believe it for myself. But I do now, yes. Anyway, I felt the video felt like a contradiction because it felt like Q+ people are supposed to always be open-minded. Queer people are supposed to always be open-minded to everything and everyone. And then I started thinking even more, and I was like, but as gay rights evolve, gay people also have a right to be closed-minded conservative on things. You know, just because you're gay doesn't mean you have to be open to everything. You know, I am from the school that's kind of like, since I'm same-gender loving, I should extend more openness to any and everything, right? For the most part. And I still kind of feel that way for the most part. But I think it's cool how the world is evolving and gay people are able to be conservative now. Like, it's not a contradiction. Yeah, we can be conservative, just like with the feminist movement. I talk about the feminist movement in my 1 minute. Basic complexity. You're on mute. Well, I will fill up this dead air with talking, and I will sit. you're here. Great. Go ahead.
All right. So after hearing that, make sure I'm at the right thing. After hearing that, I personally wouldn't call it a conflict per se, but in general, I will say that there are definitely things I do not agree with. Things that to me kind of seem pointless. Like, I know Caitlyn Jenner came in and supporting that, and I was just thinking to myself, like, you technically are part of the community now also. So you really just shooting yourself in the foot. And that's what I...
Well, wasn't Caitlyn Jenner running for political office at some point? So she was kind of like,
Well, I believe so.
yeah, basically trying to be as hey, conservative people can like me too. Like me too. I'm closed-minded, just like you. Anyway, but yeah. So my one squared, and maybe that's what we'll do as far as time. Anyway, so now I will start from my one squared, and gay people are not required to be liberal. Kind of like how I saw it explained that feminism is fighting for a woman's right to be whatever she wants to be, not a specific thing. Feminism is not about fighting for a woman to be this specific thing. Like, I want the woman to be able to be the head, the CEO, run blah, blah, blah. It's also feminism is if the woman wants to be whatever she wants to be, she can be that. Maybe she wants to run something else totally different. She can be that. That's feminism. And as gay evolves, that's true. The require it used to be a thing that we'd be expected to be like open-minded for things often. And I acknowledge about myself, if I was not gay, I'd probably be very conservative, closed-minded, but being gay opened my mind. But if I was coming out, just starting in 2023, maybe I'd still be conservative. I'd be gay and conservative. Whatever. I don't know.
They do exist.
Wait, say that again?
I said they do exist.
They do, and they've always existed. Like Donald Trump, there's actually a sect of people who are proud gay and MAGA. That's always been a thing. And maybe it will increase now. And just like with the feminist movement, you should have a right to be whoever you are. You have a right to be that. We need to make a world that accepts that. That's our responsibility. Now, yes, Kevin, you're one squared. And then I'll do the question.
And
question?
Actually, I guess when I was doing the answers, I guess I just got kind of lost. But in general, I would still say that everything that I have said previously is more or less the same type of thing I would say in the long run. That's what I have. As sucky as it sounds.
You're fine, friend. Now, I will say the hashtag VerseTV family yes or no question is, do you see beauty in a future where homo people have equal opportunity to be closed-minded just like their hetero counterparts? Closed-minded conservative. Not just those, not just those who are today, because we've already established there is a sect of gay homosexuals. I keep having things in my mind, y'all. I'm remembering this Margaret Cho stand-up special where she I think it was actually the person who comes before, what are they called? The person who goes up before the main opening act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her opening act, he said something talking about the sect of gay people who are also conservative and Republican. And I think there is a beauty in that being able to become an acceptable thing for those who are that. I am not that, but for those who are that, I think, I'm answering the hashtag VerseTV yes or no question. I shouldn't be answering it, but FYI, that's my answer, y'all. Yes, I do think it's beautiful. Anyway, did you want to give it a yes or no, Kevin? Or are you ready for topic D?
Well, I would simply say that pretty much, and I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah, it's people not should have a right to. I guess it is should have a right to, but people do have a right to be able to be whatever they are. That's where we should get as a society. Whoever, whatever, wherever somebody is, And again, I always reference this little bit of libertarian in me. If it's not hurting somebody else, not hurting or harming somebody else, you should be able to go for it. Anyway, ready for D.
Hashtag social experiment at biggest social experiment. Hashtag VerseTV 225D. Question: what are 2 plus positive and 1 plus problematic aspects of this ring social experiment?
Not gonna lie, I've been ghosted a fair few times, but alas, Pear is here to put that all behind you. Pear is a ring that you wear to show that you guys are single and ready to mingle. This one is for those of you in the LGBTQ plus community. Thousands of people have already joined, and it's a great way to meet your partner organically, so why not you next? Click the link below to order yours now. Trust me, it works.
Trust me. Anyway.
All right. With that, two things I think could be looked at as positive. Well, one, it makes the whole dating landscape possibly a little less troublesome. So you know who's available and who's not. But would that always work? No, not really. And I mean, some people who might say go to a bar and don't want to be bothered just won't wear a ring. And they could say they're engaged or married or whatever. And yeah, that whole thing, I mean, it's a great idea, but there are too many holes in that need to be figured out, because there are definitely ways to skirt around whatever issue it would create. And you could very easily tell someone, yeah, I'm not single. I'm dating or married or whatever. And yeah, I know I was supposed to have two positive and one negative. And I think just in general, I would say definitely what would come out on the negative side from, I guess, wearing the ring or whatever. You would initially be cutting some people off as if you don't want to be bothered. And hey, that could be the best thing for you, but you would never know. That's what I've.
All right. So my initial reaction was, yes, great. And then the full scope of what was going on kind of set in. And one, as far as good things, I will say it is particularly good for homosexuals, and also this is part of the reason I was so big on online dating thing, because homosexuals, with the whole ring thing, it really limits the amount of a mistake that you could have in hitting up a, can I cuss? Motherfucker who uses stuff like the gay panic defense, you know, like they tried to invoke for the people who murdered Matthew Shepard in our childhood, you know?
Exactly.
Anyway, and another good thing about it is married couples wear rings, and we are able to do we have been conditioned to do, we are able to ring spot. I playfully, is that what's going on? Oh my gosh, this whole time, I finally realized it's that, oh my gosh, we'll work it out. The microphone is what was in the way. Anyway, but yes. So, yeah, you know, we're able to ring spot, and it's cool for single folk. to be able to see, hey, this person's wearing a ring, a pair ring, because we know how to ring spot. So it would be just an issue of ring spotting the different ring. I will say this. I wish that, because when you go to the website, because I did go to the website, when you go to the website, it says like you can wear it on any finger, and I disagree with that. I think that part of what should set it apart is making sure to wear it on a different non-standard finger. Because if you just say you can put it on any finger, then that means some people might put it on their ring finger, their wedding ring finger. Put a ring on it. And, you know, they might do that, which really kind of defeats the whole purpose of the thing. And as far as the bad, I think about the dude back when I lived in 1010 St. Paul on in Mount Vernon in Baltimore. And this gay dude hit me up on a Jacked or Adam for Adam or something. And he was like, hey, can I come over and suck your dick? And I was like, no. And he was like, come on, it's head. Who doesn't want head? You know, and I was like, not me, not from you. I didn't tell him not from you, but I did say, not me. And can I go into that story in my 1 minute, Kevin? I'll save for my 1 minute. All right. Kevin, your one squared.
Crap.
If you have one. If you don't, I'll happily take
it. I don't.
Okay. So, yes, as far as he was concerned, I was like, no. And how does that connect to the ring situation? Having the ring says you're single and ready to mingle. What does single and ready to mingle mean? Because some people would interpret it as, hey, we are mutually attracted to each other. Let's go on a date. Let's start dating. Let's love. Let's pow. That's it. And that's why this thing being called a social experiment is a good name for it. But it's like there are also those who would potentially say, hey, you've got that ring on your finger just like I've got that ring on my finger. Let's mingle. I want to suck your dick. I want to suck your dick. You know, and it's like, then you'd be stuck having to try to back out of it. And I watched this other podcast actually talk about it. Right. The Drinks After Work podcast. And those women were talking about it. And they made some really, really good points. And it does kind of come down to being they talk about like being at the club, and it's like if you're the only one at the bar with the ring, then that kind of sucks. But if everybody had it, then cool. Also, it's like you wouldn't want to not everyone in the world is a match. You're not attraction to everyone in the world is not always mutual. Mm-hmm. So there could come times that you're out wearing your ring and like, my man's gonna come sometime, and then somebody who finds you absolutely beautiful comes up to you and you're like, wow, you're wearing that ring also. I'm wearing that ring too. Let's mingle. you know, and I'm not talking sexual mingle. I'm talking let's relationship mingle. But you actually think they're hideous, which is a horrible way to feel about people, period. So you need to reevaluate yourself. But you know, you're very much not attracted to that person. Then what do you do? And they on the podcast, Drinks After Work podcast, they spoke to the fact that might help some people strengthen their ability to say no to somebody, you know, strengthen an ability to reject, you know, and there can be benefit for that. That can be a good thing. And I get it for women particularly, because sometimes people have really bad things in mind. I'm not saying gay dudes don't have bad things in mind either, though. You know, it's so I'll rephrase what I'm saying and just say it can be good for everybody to learn to reject and be rejected. You know, that can be a good thing. Ooh. That can really be a good thing. Now, what I was saying as far as my how would I improve it? I was like, it would be so cool if the Ring if you had to fill out an online profile of the things that you're looking for. And then when you're in the vicinity of a person who matches those things that you're looking for and that they are, as you are for them, then the Ring will light up and you'll be like, oh, my potential great matches in the vicinity with me, you know. Then it does kind of come back down to the whole online dating situation, which is kind of the same thing minus the swipe left or right. You know? What do you think about that, Kevin?
No, I mean, I fully agree.
Let me ask the question and then I will that's gonna be tough. No. Don't let me forget to ask the family question. So, Kevin, the Ring situation. Do you think that so you're saying you agree it would be kind of just like the online dating thing at that point?
Yeah, kind of.
I love the idea, though. I do.
It's a great idea.
It's a social experiment. I think that it's cool, you know? And
few wrinkles, I guess, that need to be ironed out. But in general, it is good.
I think it's a great idea. I think that people, as I was saying before, it could help people learn how to reject what they don't want and also help people learn how to receive being rejected, you know? And maybe they should put that on the website that sometimes people are going to reject you. Do you think that would work if on the website they were like, sometimes people are going to reject you? Be cool about it.
They said it like from jump, like flat out, that this could happen. It might happen, it might not. There's really no way to tell. And like personally, even when I was younger, I was always extremely afraid of rejection. That was just me. And because of that, yes, it did hold me back from pursuing some dudes that I later learned I could have had a chance with. But yeah, rejection was always my biggest fear.
That's unfortunate. And boy, I was thinking about the whole getting people used to being rejected or not overreacting upon a rejection. But I don't think that's great, because there are some people, it's not like it would be even all across the board.
Right.
Some people would have a higher propensity to get rejected. And that would be difficult. And it wouldn't be beneficial to be like, hey, get used to people rejecting you. But maybe it is, because maybe that's how real world is. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. I just wouldn't want that dude that hit me up at 10:10 like, hey, can I suck your dick? You say you're ready to mingle. And I've said it all. Well, I will cut off saying anything else. But do you have anything else to say before I go to the question? Then we get into E.
Really quick, just touching on what you said. That it's all about really how you could take rejection. Also, as you said, some people could take it well, some people go off the entirely deep end, and it's, at least to me, it doesn't seem to be that serious. Like, in all honesty, because I've had people say to me before, even though I don't look at myself this way, I've heard people say, oh, you cute, you ain't gotta worry about nothing like that. That's cool from your standpoint, but in my head, I see something different. And that was just my whole take on it. Like, some people, even though I always realized I couldn't stand rejection, but I could tolerate it. And some people can't. And that's what I have.
You can get the last word. I have a lot to say, but I won't. Anyway, the hashtag VersTV family. Yes or no question. Question? Tell me what you think about him. Anyway, if you were single, would you take part in this social experiment with the $25 ring? It is a $25 ring, which is, cool. Anyway, E, let's go.
Hashtag CerebralTV225 at David Thomas Comedy at Jacked App at Mr. Krim3 at LGBTQ Niger hashtag VersTV225E. Text: historians when a historical figure is definitely gay.
He was a terribly lonely man. Never married a woman in his life. Never married, no. He just had one close friend, and that's all it was. They were friends. And they wrote letters back and forth for years. Some call it romantic. I don't dare delve into that. Of course, I think they were just friends having a fun, friendly time. He never married a woman. He was just friends. I actually kept a lot of friends that would come in and out of the castle, in and out of his quarters. They were just friends, lots of friends. He was a very sociable, lonely man, never married. Lots of friends, though. And when he was an older man, him and his friend that he wrote letters to, as a prank, actually got a cabin in the woods because they're real manly men. He was very eccentric, and they lived together in the woods until they died. And they were buried together as a manly, lonely prank.
The trade is mine. He say he don't like boys, I see. The midnight struck and he texts me, what you doing? I'm horny, and I want your lips all over my D. Boy, you must be so confused. You talking about my husband, I'll cut you. No, my man don't want no dude. I'm praying to God that this ain't true. You need to give it up. Your man, he likes to suck. I guess you're out of luck. The trade is mine.
That's my husband.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders recently implied that AP African American Studies should be banned because it teaches hate against the United States. Well, I wonder how Governor Sanders would feel when she finds out that the writer of the most famous words in the Constitution, "We the People," a man named Gouverneur Morris, wrote those words because he hated one of the very foundations of this country, which is slavery. Yeah, Gouverneur Morris, who spoke more than anyone else at the Constitutional Convention in 1787, wrote those words, "We the People," to be all-inclusive. He wrote them to include enslaved black folks because he himself was an ardent abolitionist who despised slavery. And since sources are important, I found out this groundbreaking information at preambleproject.org. This is a free resource to use with your students during Constitution Week. Make sure you sign up, y'all. Now back to Gouverneur Morris. He called slavery a nefarious institution that was a curse on the states where it prevailed. He also wanted to include the word slave in the Constitution to highlight the hypocrisy of the states where slavery existed. And he called out those southern states that wanted to include enslaved black people in their representation without giving them any access to what it means to be a true citizen in this country. Gouverneur Morris was ahead of his time in this country by at least a century, but he included "We the People" because he could not stand that one of the foundations of this country promoted and uplifted slavery. So essentially, he hated at least one part of this country. And Sarah, it's a federal law that your teachers must teach about Constitution Day. All I'm saying is, if you in Arkansas, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, etc., and you got a crazy governor like this, follow the law. Teach about the Constitution during Constitution Week by signing up for Preamble Project, and let your kids know what "We the People" really means. Man, shout out to Gouverneur Morris, y'all, for giving us a way to defy the irrationality of races over 200 years later.
I go it, if not 10 years, he go there. And only you feel like in my fire. Girl, won't you be mine? Where you there? She a fit see you today. In your body, feel cut in my wire. All over you to find. I go.
So, hashtag VerseTV family. And Kevin, I acknowledge I was going to ask you more about the song. Have you ever tried sleeping with a broken heart? But we're already an hour and 24 minutes. So,
Yeah.
yes. So, well, technically that means we're an hour and 20 minutes. But whatever. So, this has been hashtag VerseTV week 225. I'm Aaron Mack, and you can find me, Aaron Mack, at versetv.com. That's AARONMCK at BERSTEAB.com. And you can also find hashtag VerseTV all over social media at hashtag BERSTEAB. We're all over social media. We're just like an American Express card. You know, we're all over. Anyway, basic complexity.
Sorry.
Yep.
All right. Oh, good, because I got this up. All right. I could be found on the bare minimum. 3, I guess. All right. Well, 3 ways that could be contacted. All right. First off would be through email, and that would be basic complexity at versetv.com. And that's, as I almost always say, you take 2 words, basic and complexity, smush them together. And yeah, it's just that. So it's BASIC, capital COMPLEXITY, and that's at versetv.com. And yeah, I'm sorry, I have 2 others, and just wanna be sure. There we go. Again, alright, so on TikTok, it would also be basic complexity, but the difference is, for some unknown reason, someone had already taken basic complexity. So I had to come up with a slight difference. So on TikTok, it's my basic complexity. And it pretty much spelled the same way, only difference that the very beginning is capital M, lowercase y. Then capital BASIC, capital COMPLEXITY. And that is TikTok. Now, with Instagram, it is just basic complexity. And with all of these, it's spelled the exact same way. So, yeah, Instagram is just basic complexity. And then with the email, is basic complexity at versetv.com. The only difference is TikTok, and that's my basic complexity. And that's what I have.
All right, hashtag VerseTV family. This has been week 225. We will see you all next time. Thank you for sticking with us. Oh my gosh. Huh. I didn't. I'll do it at the top of next month, because this is the last Monday of this month. So I have to do the thank you. trust us. We thank you all very much. And you know what? I will go over it right now, but I'll put it at the top of the show next week so it can go in the main thing. The main thing is keeping the main thing. Actually, I'll do it next week. All right. Talk to you later. #VerseTV family. Peace. #VerseTV.com. Stay blessed. Have a good day.